Hold on. Let me do this.
Well,
Let me
okay,
do this. Let me do
sure.
this.
Go ahead.
Wait, why does it? Oh, I know why. I know why. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
I could have told you that for free.
Shut the fuck up. I know
So,
exactly.
what's up, guys? This is the G2 Fancast Season 1, Episode 8. So, people are probably going to be like, why are you streaming at this time and why on this day when this is usually like a Tuesday show? Well, this week, I have to close out my job on Tuesday. I'm working 6 days this week. And then I realized if I don't do it today, I can't do it on, tomorrow. Can't do it Wednesday or Thursday because whenever someone decides to do the fan cast, then I got to do it on that day. So I obviously had to do it today. So that's pretty much why we're here. We were going to have an hour-long discussion anyway because me and Warren, we're going to talk about TSM versus EG, 100 Thieves versus Dignitas, the LEC games anyway. So, it was going to probably amount to an hour discussion anyway. And I thought to myself, why not just, do it in the show? So,
Yeah.
how you been, man? What's been going on with you?
Good. For all those single men out there, start hitting up your apps. Women are they want to get soiled.
Oh my god. This man wants to just be PC. Oh my god. I could tell this guy back in the day was just saying some heinous shit. Oh my god.
You know it.
This man's just clean it up. It's like, okay, for shows I gotta be the clean guy. I can't be saying that ratchet bullshit people in the Bronx be talking about.
But no, I'm doing pretty good. It's been nice. I've been enjoying the games from both regions. I'm waiting for I believe LPL starts today or LCK. I'm just checking right
For
now.
playoffs?
LCK starts in 3 hours, and
Okay.
yeah. So the only game is no, it's Challenger. So no, nothing till next week. But the playoffs are already the teams are set. So I'm waiting for
Mhm.
LPL. They start April 1st, LPL,
Okay.
and then tomorrow, because it's midnight for me, will be LCK. So I'm waiting for those games.
Mhm.
They changed up the seedings. It's a little bit better now. It used to put like teams in the semifinals. But yeah, that's for
Oh
another stream.
yeah, remember when they used to? Do they still do that shit? Because I watched last year where they did it. Are they still giving out like a game one win to the team that's like fucking higher seed? Because that's some bullshit.
No,
That
no
I
game.
hated that. I always hated that. You would go into the series at a disadvantage in a best of three, and one team already has a game win. Like,
Like the quarterfinal is Hanwha Life and NS, and then it's T1 and DRX, and then semifinals is they're waiting for Damwon in the semifinals and Genji in the semifinals, and there's nobody waiting in the finals this year, so that's good. So now
yeah.
it's like so now it's just wait. They're basically the two teams in the semifinals are waiting, and then in China
Mhm.
they've kind of tuned it out better, and there's like a losers bracket too, so
That's
they
good.
definitely changed it up. I think the way China has it set up is much better than LCK, but I guess it's preference. But
Dude, the LCK needed a playoff format change. Like, why wasn't it 6 teams to begin with in playoffs? Why did you play a best of three in a wild card round when you just had a whole season or a split of playing best of
that's the three,
threes? It
right?
makes no sense. And the finals team gets auto qualified into the finals. And it depends on which split you're talking about or like which players, because most of those teams that auto qualified to the finals lost.
Yeah, like
From my recollection, most of them lost.
yeah, I don't think I think what Genji last year made they got they Genji has so far in its iteration from KSV to Samsung
Yeah.
never won a championship. So I would like them to win one because
Yeah. I like Ruler. I've always wanted Ruler to win a domestic trophy. It's weird how that organization, if you still like want to, if people want to still consider them like Samsung, they won 2 world championships, 2014, 2017, but they just can't win a domestic title now that they've been rebranded. That makes no sense. That shit is like ass backwards. Like, people struggle winning domestic titles and sometimes can win worlds off like, a lucky draw or whatever, right? They
right.
did They already did what most orgs dream of doing, yet they can't just do it domestically. I just don't know, man. Like, what's going on? I don't know why they can't win domestically. Oh, and what I think personally is it's just choking. Like, but if you, it depends though, because they've only they haven't had the same roster iteration between their winning worlds runs, and even to be fair, the 2016 world run where they got to the finals and they almost beat SKT. So I just don't know why they've never been able to succeed in the LCK post Samsung Galaxy. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Ruler's a fantastic player. I'll still watch some LCK games here or there. I haven't got a chance to watch it as much as it was last year because I've been really busy. But Ruler is still a fucking beast, man. Like, I just don't know what's going on with their team, dude. I don't know. You're playing.
I don't know either. I think you have to when it's all said and done. I think, and because I know we got to get to the NA and EU stuff. When it's all said and done, I know that Ruler will probably go down as, if not one of the best or the best AD carry ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you even like Uzi has more semifinals and world's finals because he's been to 2 world's finals, he's been to 4 semifinals, and he won MSI. Ruler has never won MSI, but he won. So like it's comparable careers. So and I think Ruler is just the best. One of the you have to say he's the best AD carry to ever come out of Korea. Now some may argue Deft, but I don't know about that one.
Deft, he did really well in the LPL back when he was on EDG finals. But the problem with Deft is a lot of people don't really recognize he chokes a lot in best of fives too. Like, people just glance over it like it never happened. But with other ADCs, it's just very apparent, that
you're a shitter.
But with Deft, it's like, oh well, he had back issues, and he just didn't play too well today. He'll get him next time.
Right.
I swear, I think people literally cherry pick who the fuck they want to make excuses for on that day. They know a best of 5 is coming. They got all the excuses written out if their team wins and if their team loses. But with Gen G, what I noticed, with their new roster, what was it, like Rascal and Clid and BDD and Ruler and what's the last guy's name? Life or some shit, right? So the issue here that I saw, mid jungle have no synergy. I watched recent games of theirs. That shit's still apparent. There's no synergy there. It feels like each player is kind of doing their own thing in the wrong moments. Like last year, fucking BDD would run in and Graves and invade, then die as Clid would go in and invade. BDD's just sitting there on his ear farming, not doing anything. His other laners, his opposition is backed, and then Clid just gets caught out in the jungle and dies. I'm like, you're not going to help your jungler out here, dude? Like, I genuinely think, the same arguments a lot of people brought up for Bjergsen for TSM, like years ago about him, like, not really helping out his team. BDD's not really been a super impactful mid laner, in terms of team, I would say team play, but like in highlight reels, he looks great if you just watch those. Like, I still think BDD's a good mid laner. The issue here is, like, I don't think he plays for the team. I think BDD is still in his, like, selfish phase where he's just playing for himself. Rascal, I think Rascal's a good player, but Rascal's not going to win you worlds. So they built this roster to win worlds, And Life, I think Life is okay. It's just like they don't really have a super team, right? When people called them a super team, when they were formed, I was like, that's not really a super team, though. Life and Rascal aren't super players, so that's not a super team, though. If you count Clay, BDD, and Ruler, I mean, yeah, you have an argument there, but that's not a super team.
No,
super
they're not.
Team, yeah.
They're supportive blue, like they're it's like the Bucks, right? You got Giannis, and then you got Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Middleton's like a good player, but he's not a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
He gives you 20 points, but he's not like James Harden. You know what I mean? That's kind of. I mean, not to be rude, like, you good player, 20 points per game, but he's not someone that if you want the clutch shot, etc. So I get it. But I mean, personally, I think LCK and I'm the person I'm actually happy for is Khan. Khan has had a shit, like, I think we'll say what you want about SKT. They did him dirty, FPX kind of did him a little sketchy too. And to go and replace Naguri and now Damwon is number one is, to me, shows that you're still a good player. And the problem is he's like 24 now. I don't even remember. I'm looking him up right now, just to look at age. And they always say, "Oh, the age is he's 25 right now." And they say, "Oh man, the age and sweat, blah blah blah." He's proven that at 25, he's still a top. He's a top mid top.
Kana's amazing. The issue here with the FPX time where he went over there to join the LPL was like last year. I just like theoretically looking at it in hindsight, it makes sense, right? You upgrade your top lane, now you have a carry top laner. But the problem is their specific playstyle doesn't need a carry top laner though.
Right.
That's the problem.
They play more through
they need more of a bitch top laner. Like someone like a Rome that was on Mad Lions last year.
I don't know. Rome got Rome. I think a Rome.
You think he got the Finn treatments at worse?
He got the Finn. I think Shadow made him look even worse too. So, like, I don't know, cause like think about it. The thing is, like, people don't forget that Arome, they beat G2 with Arome. Like, so was it really Arome, or was it like what was like? But people need scapegoats, just like our Rogue used Finn. Like, Finn was the issue, but look, Rogue got replaced. Odo Omne got dumpstered by TCL or Arma. Arma is not a bad player. Like everybody, all the casters were on his Arabian penis the whole time. Like, like I'm not wrong. like they're like, Arma is so good, and like I'm like, okay, I get it. You want to touch his magic lamp, great, but like, and Arma just showed that he's better than Odoamne. I mean, he did that Wukong play where he was like, what, 2 HP and got away, was great. So, what's the excuse now? Because you had Odoamne and you got rid of Vander. So now, what's your excuses now? Like, either you suck or you're just
you're just a damn choker. That's just all it is. Like, I didn't even think they need to replace Vander. I even have videos for the 2020 offseason that I did for last year. I even said, why did you replace Vander though? Vander did almost like nothing to warrant getting replaced, especially by a new guy who honestly I don't see the upside to. But to be fair, that was his first actual quote unquote stage best of 5. So who knows? Things might change in the future. But looking at how Vander has played this year and looking how he played last year, I still don't think they needed a support change. All they needed, by looking how they played last year, all they needed was just a top lane change. That's it. They just needed a different top laner by their own, merits. I don't know why you changed the support, because people don't remember. Like, the reason why they even became as good as they did macro wise was because of Vander.
Right.
That's so. I don't know. Every team just always needs an excuse. What else was the other one that teams gave like a long time ago? Fuck, man, there's been so many. Jeez,
so many. There was the whole Broxa issue, how he didn't fulfill X-Smithy's role, but then there wasn't. There wasn't cohesion. There was no cohesion with the. Remember, they Jat came in at I think he came in the next split, and then they got rid of the other coaches. So it
was Kane. Yeah, they moved Kane to just a lesser position.
Right. So like you had that, and then they got rid of Roxa. And do you? I mean, is Santorin playing better? I guess he's a little. He's like, I think he's what you would call in WoW a side grade to Roxa.
Yeah, we talked about that actually. I don't think they upgraded. I guess if you look at an upgrade in that sense, like, okay, Broxa played like dog shit, so you got the like third or fourth or second best North American LCS jungler. That's fine, but Santorin's not like an X factor though. Santorin is more of a supportive jungler though. People don't really like to bring it up. He doesn't even really gank that much, honestly. Like, he more or less so just places wards. He'll gank every now and again. He passed very well. He's not really faster paced. He gets kind of beaten by a lot of other better mechanical junglers like Svenskeren, Dardoch, and Blabber, and even Spica's had his number, this past split too. And in playoffs, Spica wasn't playing that much worse than him if I'm looking at the games objectively, outside of a few Hecarim games that Santorin had. or even just this past week, I think Spica actually outperformed him too. I genuinely don't think he's going to be the X factor they need later on to do well at Worlds. I think genuinely, if they want to play good, they should have either gotten Blabber or you just get Svenskeren. That's the player you need. That playstyle those players have is the playstyle they need. They need an aggressive jungler. They don't need a supportive jungler. Like, what do you need a supportive jungler for?
You know the problem, and here's the problem with NA. Like people from EU that's been here and NA players, they want the paycheck, not the accolades. Like Spence, I have a feeling like Spencer is like, yeah, but I want this like $1.5 million contract, bro. Like you're gonna stream, you're gonna make more money at the end of the career. Why? I would, I don't know. And we've discussed this. I would
Mhm.
rather take if someone said, listen, you could be with on G2, even though I hate that organization with passion. You could be on G2, but get to World's Finals. I'd rather get to World's Finals than never be there because at least I know I have a chance at winning the big one. And at least
Yeah.
at the end of my career, they'd be like, you know what, this guy was good enough to get there. And some people don't know how to be that humble and take that pay cut and be like, okay, like I could be on this team, but look what we can do and where we can get.
Yeah, because even just last year, a lot of people were talking about the whole thing where pro players voted to cancel the spring split. They wanted to cancel the spring split, yet wanted to get paid by their organizations too. I'm
Yeah.
like, do we not see are people just being blindly retarded? I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not living in no Twilight Zone here. You did not just publicly say you want to quit your job and then still get paid at the same time.
Yeah,
What?
it's an absurd way of looking at 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 stuff. So like to me,
Mhm.
I just don't understand. Like I feel like Spence. I'm sure Spence Scaring got offers. I'm positive. There's no way he didn't get offers. I mean, he's always been a consistent jungler.
Yeah.
I mean, C9 kept him for years. He's always performed well against the top junglers at Worlds, at international play, even on TSM when they kind of shit the bed a little bit. So I don't know. I don't know. I think Santorin wasn't the thing, but we're past that at this point. So
Yeah, it's also one of those things where it was revealed later on that people in EU now, in terms of salaries, make a comparable amount to the NA players. It might not be like in the big categories, but it's comparable. You know,
yeah, I mean, remember Alfari stayed on Origin because he felt that he took a pay cut. So did Upset because they felt that.
your mic's cutting out just a little bit.
Oh, like can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
So Alfari and Upset took a pay cut because they felt that with this team, they could have. This bitch is. Sorry, I was like, I got distracted. Oh, sorry. They felt that they could win with that team with Xerxes and Destiny and oh, I'm sorry if you watch this video. I had a few drinks tonight. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
Yeah,
my point is
he's
that
gonna start kissing dudes after this.
no. My point
Oh
is
my
that
god.
Xerxes. Well, that team was Xerxes, Alfari, Destiny, Upset. I feel like and Nuke Duck. They all took apparently pay cuts because they felt that team was confident enough to win, but they did. They end up underperforming. We heard the bit,
Yeah.
but my point is that a team in NA wouldn't do something like that.
Also, it's crazy that roster failed because, like, looking at it now, people want to make their own assumptions. I mean, these are the same motherfuckers that had Origin in top 3 in their power rankings, when, they were a team in the LEC. Like, that looked like another Suedo super team, though.
Right.
It really looked like a roster that, in theory, yeah, could compete with G2. Now, when you're out here buying Jack Troll, fucking off the streets and shit, then that's when I started losing confidence in you. Also, their playstyle, they always had an identity issue, but never really actually knew what playstyle they wanted to play. Did they want to play like the other LEC teams being really aggressive and fast, or did we want to play our own playstyle? It was always super conflicting with them, too. They never got that figured out. Also, no shade at Deficio. I love that guy's analysis. That guy's awesome. But problem, why is it like the two orgs he's been to right now, they've kind of been failing at the last minute, though. The Misfits didn't make playoffs with Officio. Origins ended up in last place with Officio. I'm just saying there's a trend here. People just aren't talking about here. Like Officio might be a great analyst, great color caster, but something here when he's running these teams is not translating.
It's not clicking.
Yeah.
I think you're right because they had this guy when I was looking at the roster. They had Denick, and they never put Denick in any time in the season. They never put in that. They have this rookie called Aggressivo, who's a really good. He came from the Misfits Premier, and they never put him in for Hewitt. I mean, Hewitt performed fine, but sometimes you need to switch it out. Like, uh, you know, I'm a firm believer that sometimes you don't need a super team. Sometimes you just need two superstars and a supporting cast. Like,
Well, that's the problem with League of Legends, dude, is that people always want to be the star, though, like in any given situation, though. And then it's up to the team to decide, who they're going to dedicate resources to. Like the team we brought up earlier with Mad Lions, right? Remember when they, were like saying in interviews to the public that, we don't really want Arome to play carries. He can play carries, but we don't want him to. Okay, just admit he's not good at playing carries, but he's not a bad player. That's just because you can't do something as good as somebody else doesn't make you a bad player. Like Dwayne B,
right?
Is not as good mechanically. He really isn't as good mechanically. That narrative's kind of oversold. Dwayne B is not as good as Rookie, Knight, and what's the other guy? Cryin, Scout, right? If you're comparing this guy to the best mid laners in the LPL, then yeah, sure he's not better mechanically. Rookie would damn near take out anybody's team, But Dwayne B offers a unique playstyle that has won a world championship. He's won a domestic title. He's had success, though. I think a lot of people, especially in LEC and LCS, they just steer toward the other direction. It's like, just because someone's not a hardcore mechanical mid lane prowess, like someone like maybe Faker, doesn't mean they're not good. I don't know where these narratives get twisted and turned, where it's like it has to be this way or it's useless. Atlas.
And analysts, yeah, the analysts are. The moment I lost any credence or any credibility for these analysts was when they said, "Oh, this the finals, the quarterfinals between MSF and SKT is a 3-0, and I'm gonna get pizza after this." This was when Frost Gannon was there, and let me not go into that woman because I don't want to get you canceled.
Woke league Twitter.
Yeah, so like, and then it's like, and then all the broadcast was like, "Oh my God, Alfari was good up against Hooney and Bang and Hansama and Ignor. They held their own against Bang and Wolf, and PoE did pretty okay, and Maxor did alright against Blank, or I forgot who it was."
Yeah, you're right. It was Blank.
It's like, is it possible, analysts, that some of these teams are actually good and know how to play, and on a given day, because they work together, they can push a good team? It's not because they're SKT and they've been winning that you should just write off a team. Okay, they beat them game 1 and went to a best of 5. That's already saying something. So the moment that happened, I was like, I'm not. It's the same analysis that predicted G2 was supposed to be FPX, and they look like idiots. I give analysts are like weather forecasters. They tell you it's going to be 80, but then it's raining and it's hail, and it's like, oh, and then when it's raining and hail is supposed to be, it's sunny, and so you plan your day. And you're like, okay, shut up and stop talking. You're ruining my daily life. So
I think what the casters got called out last year, it was specifically Drake. Yeah, Dracos and Froscarin in the Dan1 versus G2 series at Worlds last year, when they just legitimately did not know anything about Dan1. But these people claim to prep a whole bunch and have notes and watch VODs. And it's like, you're casting a world semifinal, and yet you don't know anything about Dan1. Yeah, you've clearly just saw Dan1 last year. Even if you didn't know, you could be like, oh yeah, I saw that team last year. They were this like Scrim God team, but G2 just beat them, and they didn't really have a chance to show the world what they had. They didn't even know about that. It was like, what the hell's going on here? Like, oh man. Oh, fuck. What's up, K4? How you doing, man? I agree, but there is a counter argument. Do you want to be the broke guy who went to the World Finals? This is their only good chance at making decent money since post-career things fall.
I would listen to K4. I would rather go to a World's Finals and be the broke guy to be the guy that never even got to a playoffs domestically. That is an embarrassment as a professional. I think when you're a professional, even if you don't win the championship, yeah, it sucks to lose in the big one, but at least you could say you've been there. There's people that never even in an NFL, NBA, soccer, Olympics, they've never been to these things, and it's like, well, okay, yeah, professionals are elite level, but then I'd rather still be that broke guy because at least I can say I've been
Mhm.
there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like the issue here is like people are always like, well, pro players are pro players, and you can't really judge them. Pro players judge each other amongst themselves, and to be fair, there's good pro players and there's bad pro players. That's just how anything works, though. You know, yeah, we're kind of doing like some backseat shit, but the difference here is that we know we're doing that, and I don't judge players harshly in terms of like who they are as people and all of their bullshit. I'm judging you strictly off gameplay. That's different. And like other sports are judging, they're judging you as a person, who you married, how many kids you have, and also a bunch of nonsense that goes in like traditional sports. But you know, overall, I would say look at it this way: you'll be remembered for finishing top four out of Worlds, whether or not you did well or not, or got lucky and beat a team that was supposedly better than you, or you went to a World Finals, or you won an MSI, or you got to an MSI Finals.
Yeah, look at Uzi. Uzi's the prime career. He been to two finals, right? Against SKT, went to took them the best of fives. He been to the final. He been to semifinals multiple times, but he's still regarded as one of the best ADCs because of like he won an MSI. He went to until he left RNG. He brought them to Worlds. You could even say the last was it 20 because I don't think RNG made Worlds twice, right? No Uzi, no Worlds. And they might make it. They might make it this year because Xiaohu's a monster apparently in the top lane. But like, look at Uzi. He's a career that you could say he never won the world championship, but you cannot say he was never a good player. Like if an ADC was coming up, I'd be like, bro, look at Uzi VODs. Don't look at Double Lift. Look at Uzi VODs.
Yeah. And even Doublelift, like Doublelift even said when they upset IG at the 2019 midseason invitational, that was like, well, I think that's the best moment of his career. And he didn't even win MSI. All they did was just upset one of the best teams in the world, you know?
Right.
They didn't win MSI. But to be fair, if you're taking anything out of Doublelift's career, that's the highlight of his career there. I think that is. That's the only thing he's ever done internationally was just upset IG in that one best of five in that one day. I don't care what he says. He got out of group stage. MSI has a group stage. You have to get out of group stage in order to get to a knockout round. That's literally how it works. I don't really care what he says. Oh, I never really made it out of groups at Worlds. True, but you made it out of groups of MSI. You literally have to make it out of groups of MSI to make it to best of fives. That's how it works. And he wanted a best of five. He did technically more internationally than a lot of the other players here in just that moment, right? But you have to kind of factor in. It's all how you want to be remembered. You want to be remembered as that player who just got a paycheck, came into work, did his job, and left, or you want to be as remembered as something more. You know, I'd imagine when Perks first joined G2, he wasn't making that much money, but he probably was okay with that. Like some players have said, they don't really care about the money too much. They're willing to just play for the best team. Now you have to be good enough to play for the best team. It's not, you know, like if Stixay was like, you know, I want to play for Cloud9, you're gonna probably have to.
Please stop it. Don't even put that guy in. No, that was just disrespectful. Stop it.
Hey, Stixay's won a title before. He's got some third place matches. He's done well internationally.
He's a high quality. I've drank too much. He's a high quality shitter. That's what he is.
High quality shitter. But yeah, guys, let's jump into the matches we had this week. TSM taking on Evil Geniuses. What did you think about this series as opposed to the last one?
Well, let's first. I'd love to first. I think we need to address that this drafting was. I like it because, for one, we saw that Bjergsen is not afraid to that Nocturne pick is feast or famine, right? So for me, I was like, okay, I respect it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? But if it does work, okay, cool. TSM is showing that they have. So I'm liking like each of these games. If we can go over quickly depending upon
Mhm.
how you want to do it.
It's up to
Um,
you.
yeah, you look at the draft, it's just so much better. Like Sword Art's on an engage. Like first game one, the draft is. I'm happy that Spica didn't like. Okay, so remember in early in the season, what was the narrative that Huni can't play Nar, and then all of a sudden he had better games. He had better games on Nar, and then that narrative got squashed, right?
Yeah.
I like that Speaker's still sticking with Udyr because he's like, you know what? I don't care if I fail. I'm gonna show you guys that I can play this champion, and he did it against Svenskeren, which is you would arguably be. I have no problem saying Svenskeren is better than Speaker. That's not a. I'm not
Mhm.
gonna. I'm not delusional. It's true.
Oh, some
Um,
days, you know.
yeah. So like, I like the fact that he stuck with Udyr no matter what. And what did we see? Sword got engaged. He got Rel, he got Alistar, he got Nautilus, he got Alistar. That is Sword Art. The main focal. He starts off the fight and he's the shot caller, right? All these
Mhm.
draft now the Nocturne is a little sketchy because you got to get ahead. Nocturne's not a bruiser. He's not Aatrox. He's not Renekton. He's like one and done. Wham bam. You one night stand. Right? I'm sorry. At all.
Oh
Right?
my god.
At
This man's over
all.
here thinking about his sex life. He's flexing on us. Holy shit. As you guys can see, the first game, TSM draft, Nocturne, Udyr, Syndra, Zaya, and Rel. Zaya coming back into the playoffs between the LCS and the LEC this past weekend. Now, for the LEC, Zaya had like literally the lowest stats they've seen in playoffs in a long time. I don't think Zaya is a viable pick in the LEC. Specifically because, you know, the players there play a lot more differently and they force you to blow Zaya ult there easily. In North America, it's not the same. You can use the Zaya and scale up like Lost later on did in this best of five, where he had gotten basically 2 quadra kills. EG drafted Sion, Lillian, Yon, Tristana, and
Lillian.
Gragas. Yeah, Lillian, Yon,
Lilia.
Tristana. I fucking can't stand you. Lily, whatever fucking name, Liliot, Lily
Lily.
Thought, Lila
Lily.
Thought,
Lily.
Lily, Lily Ah. Oh my god, Lily
Thank
Ah.
thank you.
Vector. Oh my god, I almost said Vector from a fucking anime that I watched. I fucking hate you. All right, fucking hell. Black on black crime here, guys. Holy shit. EG draft Sion Lilia. Oh my god. Joan, Tristana, and Gragas. So overall, for this game, this is just a stomp. Like you watch, they beat the shit out of these guys. Like I was ever thinking to myself, God damn, how tilted have EG been in scrims to the point where you're playing as shitties like this? Look at that. Ignor's not even in front of his fucking team. He just threw the cast randomly. Bro, look how much trolling they're doing in some of these games. Look at this shit. Look what Ignar's doing. He just throws it right there. Nothing. He literally with 2 of his teammates are right there in front of us. Come on. They were tilted as fuck after. Oh my god. Watch this. Best of almost made me want to slip my fucking wrist.
Um, but I mean, hey, at least we predicted it right. I just like the fact that we are seeing that TSM is not afraid to explore in their draft. Like they could have easily said, you know what? And I agree with that, K4. I think EG is a pretender. I honestly think that definitely should be replaced. I have nothing against him, but he's not a main stage ADC. Like he's just not. He's been in the league
Now, yeah.
just as
So
long
what
as
we talked
Golden
about
Glue.
earlier, I think this is what they need. They need a player that's a carry, like we were talking about with the same thing with Team Liquid. The same thing applies to EG. I think at the AD carry position, you need a more stronger ADC. Now, I don't know who they could get to replace him,
Listen,
honestly.
listen. If Kabe was still here, if you put Kabe on EG, that's a dangerous team.
That's actually a really strong team, actually.
Like
I
if
agree with that.
Kabe is always a Kabe is probably one of the most underrated ADCs ever to come out year. But if you put Kabe for with Ignar and Ignar is aggressive, it would work well because he would learn how to play a little bit more and probably win the 2v2. Which is why I wish Kabe kind of stayed in NA, but it's neither here nor there. I have I respect the guy. He's his family, his girlfriend I believe was in EU. So but like
Mhm.
you put Kabe in there, that's a very good team. You can't say that's a bad team. Kabe's been to Worlds. I mean,
Even
That's
that 180 carry that Unicorns of Love had last year at Worlds, Gadget, I thought he was a
Gadget.
pretty solid AC. I thought
Yeah,
he was like, I thought for sure he was getting the team. I was like, wait, Jose Dioto and Arma got a team, but Gadget didn't. Gadget was actually popping off in a lot of the games, not at group stage, but I thought he was a pretty. He could easily have been one of the more better North American ADCs if you give him the right team. Like I definitely think for EG, there's just so many issues. We'll talk about them because
right.
their play style is so easy to predict. And I even
It's a
said
feast or
this last
famine team.
week
Yeah,
that's feast or famine. Svenskeren only gains for Impact because you can genuinely tell he thinks that Impact is the only player they can play through. Why else would he go to? He had since Garen coming into this best of 5 had the highest jungle proximity toward top lane, and this is one of those moments where you go, okay, that's where the stat is true. He's ganking for top lane because he just has no faith in the bot lane or Jizuke. Now, Ignar, to his credit, played pretty good this series, actually. Outside of the Gragas fumbles he made this game, he played pretty fine in games
right.
2, 3, and 4. Oh my god, in game 4 he threw so hard. Or EG, oh my god, in game 4 they threw so hard. I thought Rogue was good at choking and throwing. No, EG like I'm just gonna do you one better on the same
No,
day. You guys see that game 4? That shit was terrible.
Rogue is literally the Indianapolis Colts. They're the best regular season team, but the worst playoff team
Hey,
ever.
bro, the Colts won with Peyton Manning back in 2011.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
what was it against the shitty Bears? Like,
The
stop it.
Saints. Wasn't the Saints, right? Was it the Saints? No, the Saints won that year. They won. They won
Yeah,
the year before. Yeah, you're
yeah,
right. Okay.
they want to get the shitty ass Bear team. When, when's the last time they've been to the playoffs? Stop it.
Shit. Ever since I lost Payne Manning, though, hey, the same narrative with Tom Brady, dude. Same narratives with Payne Manning and Tom Brady. But this drafting was much better for TSM.
Yeah.
Now, I like that they brought out the Nocturne pick. I like that. It shows that even though they might not feel super confident in trying out these flexible drafts, it's good to try it out and see if it works, though. You might as what do you have to lose here? It's a loser's bracket. It's game 1 anyway, and they probably have scrimmed EG, and they probably know they're not going to be as strong of a team anyway. And I like that they're giving him this comfort, though. Like, you have to show him you do trust in him a little bit. You know what I mean?
Typically, when it comes to like, from what I remember in regards to, when teams are matched up, they end up scrimming someone else. So probably TSM scrimmed against Dig,
Mhm.
or maybe they probably didn't scrim against Steve. They probably scrimmed against Dig,
Oh,
C9, or TL, because they don't want to like scrim against,
look at
each.
guys, look at this. Look at what Impact is doing. I'm pretty sure no one caught this. Oh my god! If you're a new player, look at this. It's just any situation you're in. If you're playing Gnar, I'm a top lane player. I play Gnar. You have to keep kiting. Look at what he's doing. He's giving up so bad. He's not even kiting.
He's not
Auto
even auto.
attack.
He's not an
He's not even
auto.
playing Q auto something, dude. Imagine how much damage he would have gotten off. I'll replay right now for all you guys who are new here. Literally, all you got to do in this situation. Okay, he hook shot in. Okay, that's the W ability right there. Okay, he's got ignited. Or not. Yeah, he got ignited. He's running auto kite. You're Gnar kite Q. Look how many autos he could have gotten off. Like
He
just
could have whittled.
mentally,
He could have
he
whittled.
literally mentally exploded here. He wouldn't even take a tower shot. Imagine if he just kited. Come on.
And K for your, I feel like Sword Art has lived up to his. That he's been the $6 million support man. Like,
You're
I think.
justifying
So.
$6 million for a fucking Taiwanese support, Warren.
No, but the thing is, think about. Okay, remember like, okay, before there was Bjergsen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Lustboy was a support that came over from Korea,
LCK. Yeah,
LCK, and he basically put TSM, like, you would say that Lustboy is probably a legend he's a TSM legend. Like,
yeah.
they won a lot of champions with him, and he changed the team, and they do respect Lustboy. So I understand when they went to support route, because that's where they got success first, and then they got a mid laner. So to me, like, PoE was a steal, honestly. Like,
Honestly,
PS
yeah, losing Bjergsen and gaining Power of Evil was the best thing they could have asked for, honestly.
right. And to go to the draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the team. Like, we see that PoE's on a mage slash side laner. The game before, he was on Syndra. We have We have lost on a hard carry role, basically for the late game, and have played defeated by Sword Arts on his engage, not enchanters. I mean, granted, he did have that one good Seraphine game, but what's Sword Art known for? Shot calling with Leona, with Rel, with Nautilus, with Alistar. Like this is what this guy is known for. Play to his strengths. He played three different champs. That's still pretty good. That means guess what? Now teams have to be like, we have to respect his Alistar. We have to respect his Rel. So like I feel like TSM played to their strengths now. Speaker I feel has now he's not playing a support because I've seen him pop off on Hecarim. We've seen him pop off. So I feel like he's fitting the cog role. He's not a ward like most TSM junglers prior, but he's I wouldn't say the NA. You could say he's the NA Yankos in the sense that he's filling in whatever role that TSM wants him to be. You know what I mean? Because if you keep, he can play Nidalee. Because I know for a fact Yankos is not a good Nidalee player. He even knows that.
No, bro. You know how many memes about him going around missing spears and shit?
Right. So he can play the Nidalee. He can play the Graves. He can play but you know, for this team iteration of TSM, this is what they need. Yeah, I think he's regressing as Impact. I think I think again, Impact. I think Impact would play better if he had a reliable AD carry. Definitely's not it. I'm sorry if you're a Definitely fan. No offense, but he's not he's not a franchise ADC. He's just not. I'd rather EG go to their academy league and start looking at an ADC because you know what you're getting, just like what Golden
at this
did.
point, you like. I agree with some people. If you know what you're gonna get in a known commodity of a player, why not just try out a new player? Then at that point, you might as well try out a new player. What's the difference?
Right, sort of. Ignar teaching a new ADC, just like Core JJ taught tactical is the if you notice that's the new sort of like what are teams doing? Teams are now putting a rookie alongside a veteran because it's like okay, he's gonna make mistakes, but the veteran's gonna like say this is what you did, and here's how you can improve it, and he's gonna improve way faster than it's two rookies together. You know, um, yeah, they would never get it. Stop it. Stop it,
What's up, Benjamin? How you doing, man?
Stop. They couldn't afford that.
To be fair, this game, Def Lee, yeah, I see what I did there. Def Lee popped off on Tristana. He was 7-0 by the 26-minute mark. TSM drafted Camille, Udyr, Twisted Fate, Zaya, and Alistar. EG drafted Gnar, Lilia, Nico, my baby Nico, Tristana, and Rel. Now, to be fair, wasn't Hecarim like auto banned throughout most of this best of 5 though because of how strong it was?
It's what I told you from the other Hecarim. It to me, like people can say what they want about Hecarim, and I had this argument with a friend that's a plat to diamond juggler, and he agrees. Udyr can get you quick ahead, but the team has to win. Hecarim will always be good as the game goes on.
Yeah, that's true.
He can get you good. He gets you good gang setups. He gets you a guarantee. He can split up the backline. He can engage. He can even disengage. He can, if he's in trouble, he can get away. He's just a good champion right now. That's why Hecarim is always contested.
You know what Udyr does? He runs the gym and slaps shit.
He slaps you like that. I mean, it's like at that point. At that point, I'd rather have Lee Sin because at least I know I can get an insect kick. I can get and even if he dies,
it's crazy how this meta is all based around like early game junglers, and Lee Sin is nowhere to be seen. Nor Elise, nor Nidalee. No, Nidalee's here. It's just no Elise and no Lee Sin right now, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, Nidalee is feast or famine because you got to get her ahead. Because once you land when you land the spears, it's like Jace when he spoke, right? You're like, oh shit, it hurts.
But like during the best of 5, as you guys seen, Lost played on every game of Zaya. Every game he was on Zaya, dude. Like I get why he's on Zaya. So some people would say he's on Zaya duty. That's like a bad thing. No, if you know he's your weakest player, give him a champion like that, and he'll do just fine. Like
I mean, he's played Kai'Sa too.
Yeah. It's just that because in this situation, you're factoring in this is a loser's bracket match. You have to win. If you want him to be on a secure champion like Zaya, where it's not going to be that bad, if he gives up a few kills early on, put him on Zaya. Like, I don't like people need to understand when someone's on a certain champion, it doesn't automatically mean the team thinks he's bad. It's just more like look at the situation they're in. If they lose this, they're out. Are you gonna put all your eggs in the loss basket? Probably not. Now, if he pops off, that's good. But I'm not drafting for that. Sorry, I'm not banking on that. I'm putting my eggs in my carry player basket. That's what I'm doing. You know. They had this
I agree
nice
with that.
little. They also had this play right here where EG did get 2 kills off this right now, and it's the thing where EG as the series went later on, they did look good at certain moments. Like you can see right here, they were up in kills this game. They had a gold lead. They had a gold lead in game 4. Game 4, oh my lord, you cannot throw that hard. Like holy fuck, dude. Like it's like imagine this. Your brain understands what you need to do, and your mouth moves differently. The fuck am I saying?
You mean like when Homer sits in an episode when he looks at that lady with the cleavage? My mind is telling me yes. I've made my mind, but he's still looking at her tits. I've made my mind. And hey,
like, what do you think is the biggest deal with EG so far? Because like, even
bro,
during
it's
this game, even when they're ahead, they can't win sometimes. Like a team would have to be that far behind, like in game 2, for them to really get, for them to actually pull off a win. Like you saw in game 3 and game 4, there were moments where you're like, okay, this could probably be a 5-game series. No, because Jizuke is doing his best impression to run it down as hard as he can. And
the Italian caps.
Italian caps? Oh my god! If someone said that on Reddit, they need to fucking cut their mic and burn their damn fucking phone. Oh my god! After that, guys, we're going on to game 4. EG drafted Aatrox, Lilia, Nico, Kaisa, and Rel. Now people are gonna be like, well, why is he taking Nico? Nico's a strong champion. If he's gotten poked by Nico and her Pop Blossom, that's Nico's my pocket pick for mid lane. I stand for any player that plays Nico. Nico's fucking awesome. And I think fuck you. Nico is a better Ahri in my own personal opinion. Your pick potential's better. Your stuns are better. And also, they go in a much more directional way where, like you see in ADC, you throw your Q or your E or what the circle ability she throws. I forgot the name of it. I can't know all the champions' abilities names. What do you mean? What do you mean? Bro, the Pop Blossom is an amazing. I love Nico so much. Or maybe I'm just a Nico stan. But overall, TSM drafted Camille, Udyr, Syndra, Tristan, and Alistar. Sora played really well this series. Huni played really well this series. But to be fair, when he was getting dove top lane, it just wasn't really his fault. Like, they even acknowledged that Svenskerin's going to go top only. And they also need to understand if EG want to win, they cannot have a linear playstyle like this. Peter Dunn, he's like, oh yeah, we're going to try and develop multiple different playstyles. I think he said that. I don't fucking remember. Someone from EG said that. Well, it sure don't look like it because you're playing the exact same way.
He's playing
now
like
in this game, God, right? That's what I was going to say. Holy shit. Oh my God. Like in this game, they got ahead. They really did. They were doing well this game. You're thinking to yourself, okay, they're going to win this game 4, bring it to a game 5, right? Right? No, right. Because their brains actually turned off. Right here is when the game turns right here. Look at this shit. What are we doing here? No, it's Predator, right?
ARAM, that's what we're doing. That's any style of ARAM. While you're looking for that, K4, Udyr is overtuned, bro. He's overtuned because they're waiting for his rework. And I hate when Riot does that. I hate when they overtune a champion because he's dog shit. No offense to you, dear. That's a dog shit champion. If he loses half of the, he needs to get more. He needs to get more nerfs. He's only good, and I hate to say that because I understand that people like their champions, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but he's overtuned because they're doing his rework next year, and it's a lazy developer design mentality that I wish companies stop doing because it's very lazy and I hate it. And he's your main and I understand, but he's very overtuned. Like he's gotten 2 nerfs, but you still see him in pro play. That already says the champion's broken.
Trying to find the part where Lost got that quadra kill. Holy shit! I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in here. Cause like right at that moment when they lost. This game was over. When they gave up that quadra kill, at that moment, you knew you fucked up. I'm sure it's right here.
Well, to answer you, Benjamin, the problem with definitely he's not the ADC they need. I've been saying it's like I think Shizuke is fine, but you need like a someone too aggressive or someone reliable that when that 5v5 comes and you need that guy with three items to pop off, he can pop off. That's why I put like Kabe. I'm not using Kabe because he's EU. Kabe is that type of player where late game comes, he's gonna do what he needs to do. He might not be the best laner, but he's gonna do what he needs to do to win the game. I don't see that in Deathly. Deathly's been in the league plenty of years. He's basically the ADC golden glue. Let's be real. He really is.
Oh God, dude.
Yeah.
My Oh, they did the same thing as Aatrox too. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, holy shit. They deal with a lot of champions they're gonna rework. They'll fucking overbuff them, rework them, and they're still broken as fuck. Remember Vladimir? Oh my
Yeah.
god. When they reworked Vladimir, holy shit, that guy was broken as hell.
Look, yeah, Aatrox has been out since 2018, but yet somehow he still finds himself in the meta. Like that is a terrible design flaw. Like it is. And I
Mm.
guarantee if I were to sit down with Mark Yetter, who makes the stupid ass
Mark
nerfs,
Yetter.
first I make sure to emphasize that asshole's name. Like he, wow, he just got blown up. Um, it's just I don't know if they're taking kangaroo dust when they do these designs. I have not. I
I
have
usually take that
no.
every day myself, though. And Spica also steals the Baron. So they were winning this game. Spica steals the Baron. And yes, TSM defeat Evil Geniuses 3-1. They're moving on to the next round. They face 100 Thieves. Am I right about that?
Yeah. What I will say that TSM did do is like you said, EG could have easily made this game. Um, what was it? A 5 game series, right? But TSM did what they did with like the C9 game in the regular. They clawed their way back and they managed to win the game. You want this builds confidence to say, hey, you know what? Even if we're in a bad like 5K, 7K goal lead, we can win the game. And you want to see that out of any team. Doesn't have to be TSM. Just that mentality is really good to have.
No, yeah. Like, I wonder what they're going to do in the off season now for just this little brief off season you have before the summer split starts up. I kind of want to know what they're going to do because are they going to make roster moves, because it just really feels like the team just has no cohesion where they're playing.
Yeah, like
Like
we said,
there's
we said that in the end of the season, we feel like EG underperformed.
Yeah, based off the caliber of players they have, you kind of feel like they should be a more deadlier team. Now, does that mean changing out the mid laner? Does that mean changing out Definitely? I could probably say that they should probably replace Jizuke, but someone's gonna say who are you getting better? I mean, at that point, it's like who are you getting more consistent is what you should be saying, because you know.
I mean, let me see if I were to look at Academy right now. Let's just look at Academy, like NA, and we look. Oh, there's I don't even know if there's proving. Like I don't know who's on the Academy teams. Like I would say pick up King. King is a good. He's an OS player. He played on Mammoth and Direwolves. Pick up King. He's a good player. He's better. I think King is way better than Deathly.
Yeah, dude, King is actually pretty good. He's one of
Like
the fucking Australian ADCs. Like, I think he's almost as good as FBI, if not better, given the right team.
give him the right give if I yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like pick up a guy like King, you just made your team at least 3 times better, I think. So
Mm.
I would say they probably have to look at an OS player because they don't want to break their bank, and also because their import slots. I'm not sure if Svenskeren is a resident.
He's a resident. He's a resident. Yeah. The
So
only imports they have are Ignar and Jizuke.
right, so
Naturally.
they can't really, they would have to go with OS player or an Academy NA player. So
Oh my god. All right, so I know there's some 100 Thieves fans on the channel, and I know we have some Dignitas fans. So, I mean, Warren wants to definitely tear the Dignitas because there are people calling him crazy.
all
But this
right.
team, oh
All right.
my
So,
god.
so Dignitas proved what I said before. You can be a great regular season team, but when it comes to the playoffs, you're absolutely gorilla. So, like, I don't know like what happened. You would think with two veterans as who have been in best of fives, I believe is at
Yeah.
least Aframo. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure even on TSM, Darda was in
Yeah,
best of
remember he
five.
got knocked out by FlyQuest. Remember, and
Right.
they beat 100 Thieves in that.
Right.
You know,
Right. So like it's not like they don't have best of five experience. I just think it came down to just making the right plays at the right time and just bad like I don't want to be cop out and say mental, but like you should be able to that from what was being talked about, they should have at least won one game.
yeah, like I still stand by what I said for putting Aframo and Dardoch in my All Pro teams and MVP for Dardoch because you're factoring in those are regular split. Those are regular season awards though. That has nothing to do with playoffs. Now, when you have a playoffs MVP, that's entirely different though. Now, when you look at this, there's a lot of different factors to really take. Did teams throw against them, and that's the only reason why they got their wins in the regular season, or as from some of the games, they team fought very well to get themselves back in the game. But to be fair, those are best of ones. And in a best of five, you're not going to really see that too often because there's much more games to play through. The team that generally gets ahead more or less so closes out depending on which region you watch. I felt like Saligo picking Ari was really useless. Like, if you want to pick a power farming mid laner, there's better mid laners to play than Ari at that, because when you're factoring in Ari, you're trying to roam around the map, get picks with your charm, burst out your opposing mid laner, roam, set up dragon plays, set up TP TP flanks. Obviously, you take TP on Ari now these days. He just really didn't do anything. Like, they ran back a draft. They kind of messed up this game one, which kind of mentally tilted them after this game. Dardoch going like 0-6. Like, we already knew this going in. If Dardoch and Aframo don't get the team ahead, they're going to lose. That's it.
Right.
Because
Right.
they genuinely have worse opposition than 100 Thieves do. FBI is better than Neo. Sunday's better than Fate God. And Ryoma and Sligo's a literal toss-up. But maybe you give that edge to Saligo. That's
Yeah.
it. Now, is it wrong to have picked them to win this best of five based off regular season performance? Not really. I understand. I don't think there's no wrong answer here. And like, I had Dardoch in high regard still. I think it might have been an off day. I don't want to make excuses like that. I'm not the person to do that. Afro played well this series. I'll say that. He played good. Other than that, no one showed up for this best of five. They were just showing up to play games and get off the stage. So that's just how I saw it personally. What about you, man? What do you think is the future for Dig after this?
The future for Dig is they need. I mean, I don't want to sound
Like
like
a
a
Debbie Downer, but
not a,
but you
not,
have
not
been.
not a Debbie Downer. They need to pick up an import of some sort. They need to.
Oh no, but they're Dig NA toss. Remember, they branded themselves as NA players. They pick
Um,
up an import. They're losing some fans that they never had anyway. But let's be honest here.
I understand that they're building up their brand, which is nice, but it's either they do some hard boot camping, change their coaching staff because you're only gonna reach a certain high point. You need, like, the thing is you remember, I think, and I don't mean to use NBA references, but
That's
um
fine.
you know, the Warriors, they had Mark Jackson as their coach, and then after they fired him, they got Steve Kerr, and they won 3 titles. Like,
Yeah, I remember.
sometimes you need that next person to take you to the next level. Now, where do they go? Who do they get rid of? It's hard because these players have performed pretty good, and they're all NA. So it's gonna be a rough mid-season. I'm not. They might make some changes. I know Dardoch is still signed. I'm not sure about Aframo. I'm sure Neo's gonna stay because he definitely overperformed, because I'm sure that people had him lower down in the ADC bracket. So I don't know. It's like I don't want to see these players go, but you just um they played the Ari because it's a good matchup into
But the
the
way Saligo played it was just not how you play Ari. You don't sit there and farm on Ari and do nothing.
right.
He legitimately played it bad. I don't think the pick itself was bad. Like, you look at Hunter Thief's composition in game two. Like, Ari's Charmer is perfect for all these champions except for like Rel, maybe. That's it. I mean, that's it. Saligo, he legitimately just played it terrible. Like, I don't get. They pretty much they picked like the exact same composition. They themselves chose to run it back. And since 100 Thieves are like, okay, I just beat this composition in game one, It's a free game 2 for me. I know exactly what they're gonna do. And then, well, they had one close team fight where the jungler and the support both died, but outside of that, this game was also a stop. Like, am I disappointed in them and how they performed in the series? Yes. Am I disappointed that I put them in my All Pro Honors MVP? No.
No, me neither. I think Dardoch showed that he still had value and that he revitalized his career, and so did Aframu. Which is good
Now,
to see.
if Dig want to move to the next level, the issue here is since they were on Twitter kind of branding themselves as an NA org, quote unquote, that's going to handicap you because I even said this. You have NA players, and that's perfectly fine if you want to go that route. But there is a cap to how good these NA players are. We all know this. Like, there's going to be exceptions. I know guys like Blabber and players like Dardoch, right? That's not every player, though. Like, I'm just going to say it right now, the import players are better and have always proven they're better. Whether or not they failed or not doesn't matter. You can watch them in lane and watch how they play team fights. They are just better players. So since Dig have kind of branded themselves as, hey, we like NA players, good luck capping out at your NA players and never making it past round 1 of the playoffs.
Yeah,
So,
maybe
that's all I have to say.
I mean, I don't know who they. I don't know who it's hard. And to answer your question, Ryan, I think Jensen showed that he's still a good mid. I think the problem is they don't really have a true. Their identities was mixed up, and they found it within that series. So, I mean, he played well against Lucian, which is a very good pick. Lucian is. We've gotten to debates about that, so I'm not gonna go
Oh
down
my
that
god.
rabbit hole.
I
So,
remember,
like,
man. Impact can carry, dude. I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, Ari is a bait for other teams because they forget that she has that her double. I mean, I forgot how many times she can use her ult. I believe it's
3
four,
times, right?
3 times,
Something
and
like that, yeah.
yeah, it's basically it's damage and escape, which is good, and she can actually roam once she gets enough items. So it's a very
Mhm.
good pick. Again, like we saw, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later. We saw that Darius came back. The last time we saw Darius was
Oh,
2016.
yeah.
So
All right, guys. So that's for the NA games this past weekend. TSM moves on to play 100 Thieves in the next round. And then you also have Cloud9 taking on Team Liquid. We will be previewing those matches on the C9 Fancast later on this week. Will they be in like individual videos? I will try. No promises there because I'm really busy this week, actually. But moving on to the LEC that had 3 best of 5s this week. Them shits was bangers. Well, the first 2 were bangers. Rogue's best of 5 was fucking trash. That shit was awful, man. Oh my god. And then Warren was the guy, why are people rating Odo Wamne so hard? He's so overrated.
Was I wrong? Was I
It's like,
wrong?
so somehow these random takes genuinely always work. I don't know what magic you have for fucking leprechaun shit you've actually like snorted with these fucking New York magic or some shit.
Listen, I go to Popeyes, I eat chicken, and I throw the chicken bones on the floor, and then I do voodoo. That's what I do.
Hey man, I saw Leprechaun in New York. I know you guys be doing some Irish shit over there. Oh my god.
It's voodoo. It's chicken bones.
Oh my god. All right, guys. So the LEC 2021 Spring Split Playoffs Round 1 kicked off this past weekend. Fnatic taking on SK Gaming. If they lose this match, they're out. I'll say this right now. Gen X played so well this series, and so did Treats.
Is that like a murderer? Must be a murderer around your neighborhood. That's the second time I heard it.
Bro, these people are actually trying to kill me. All the fuck's going on? All right,
Okay,
sorry
so-
about that, guys.
That's
But
fine.
Treats and Gen X played absolutely great in this best of 5. Now, we were at a disagreement last night when we did our LEC video breaking down the games. To be fair, it's all how you look at it, though. Tinks, Blue, and Jezu all underperformed. Now, which one underperformed more? That's debatable given how you look at the situation.
Blue.
I think if you just look at it in game 5, I think Jezu played bad, but in the situation that Fnatic put him in, he was going to play bad by default. And then again, it is a strategy to pick on the new guy when they're kind of in a certain situation. All the Fnatic players you have seen have been to either at least an LEC final or have won a title. Most of them have won titles except for Selfmade and Upset. But if you discount that, they've also been in finals. Yeah.
I'm looking at the draft for Fnatic.
In game 1, you have Bwipo taking Gragas. You have the rest of the composition folding out as Volibear, Orianna, Tristana, and what did Hillsing have? Hillsing had, I think, Rail. Was it? Pretty sure it was on Rail. Yeah, it was
Nautilus.
always on Nautilus. Yeah, the hook champion for him. SK Gaming had Aatrox, Hecarim, Ari, Zaya, and Alistar. If you're on SK's team, obviously you give him Aatrox, and to be fair, he's known as liking Aatrox one trick. Well, at least competitively, but he played well in this game though. Like, it was not their fault at all on Gen X's, because Gen X played great this whole series.
I will say, Gen X was getting flack from you, from sure, that he was an Aatrox OTP, and he really
Was I
showed.
wrong though? He picked it in the first game of best of 5 though. I'm just
Okay,
saying though.
you're not wrong, but remember what we talked about before about these are pro players. Do you really honestly think they don't know
Yeah.
how to play this?
I thought it was just a comfortability thing where they just didn't think he could carry, so they only just gave him Aatrox.
And he played Jace, he played Gnar, he played Aatrox. This man was trying his. This guy was basically trying to do Patrick Mahomes with the. He's like,
hey,
he
got close. They almost got. They should have got to a game 5. They should have got to a game 5.
They definitely should have got to a game 5. But again, it's rookies. This is why I'm hyping. Why I like rooting for SK and Fnatic, because I feel like SK has potential. Blue. People forget, and I'm sure we're going to talk about Abadage and the G2 series.
Yeah,
this is their split. This is his first best of 5. This is the first time they've been on a stage. Like, you're going up against Niski, who's been to Worlds, Selfmade, been to Worlds, Bwipo, been to Worlds Final, Hylissang, been to Worlds Final, Upset, been to a finals of domestic. And I think he went to semifinals with Schalke before they broke up and everything. These guys have plenty of experience. Like, these guys, the most EU Masters, that's the G League in NBA.
Hey, you're not wrong though. You're not wrong.
Yeah, so like you gotta like.
You definitely saw jitters. Like in the Akali game. The Akali game, he's literally trying to kill an ADC with like 30 health. He's got 30 health, but there's 5 people. There's like 4 people guarding him. I'm like, dude, come on, man. You're doing your best to fucking feed the homeless here. Come on, bro. That is some hardcore inting right there. There's just no excuse for that, you know?
Benjamin brings up a great point. Like, I think if you had better decision making and more experience, that it goes to a best of 5. I think SK has potential, and let's be honest. I'd rather them lose to Fnatic and then lose to, like, I don't know. I wouldn't say Schalke, but Excel. Like,
Excel.
At least, like, you could tell that Fnatic worked for it. Like, I think they definitely worked for it in the game.
You can see the player cams, right? Like, you could definitely see the difference in playing at home versus playing on stage, which is why people brought up the argument before. It's like playing at home is easier, not in the sense of, the gameplay and how you're going to move around the map and play with your team. It's easier in the sense of you're at home, it's comfortable, you jack off with that mouse you play on, you fucking, I don't know, use that same hand to play League. Yeah, like, come on. It's not the same thing. Like, you have to get up, get dressed, go to the stage. You're playing in front of, in theory, a lot of people, because it's obviously it's being streamed through YouTube, Twitch, co-streams. You're playing in front of a lot of people. It's a lot more difference, a lot of pressure, because now, in terms of when they're back on stage now, a lot of these games matter differently in terms of, okay, now we can see if this player is going to be a player that can get our roster to the next level, or our organization in terms of League of Legends. And you can see all these players were, man, when they were zooming in on their faces during all these best of 5s, it was a different feeling. And I was like, okay, I like this feeling. I've missed this feeling before.
Now, okay, if they made a move, I actually keep Jezu. And this would be a controversial move. Now, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
What if they got Nemesis?
They'd be a lot stronger, actually.
All right, that'd be, what you're getting with Nemesis, basically a mini.
No, yeah,
he's a better. I think Nemesis is a little bit better than Power Ryu. He gets a lot of flack for no reason too.
Yeah. People went a little overboard about how bad he was. I was like, yeah, he played bad, but then again, you're playing up against Knight, and Knight's actually just a monster. Come on.
Like, I think if they had like a guy like Nemesis in the mid lane, or even Fevavin, who knows, like, just someone with experience. I think
maybe that Crown Shot guy. Man, they should never got rid of that guy.
No, well, Crown Shot wanted to test the waters, so I don't blame him, because
that was such a nice shockwave. Oh, so good.
the word on the street is that SK can be a cheap org. Even Thorin mentioned that before.
Yeah, it's understandable. They don't want to spend the big bucks because they know they probably can't win LEC for a very long time. You know,
But I mean,
it's completely understandable.
I mean,
I understand.
but back in the day, in the EULCS days, SK was a top 4 team. Like
They had Sven Skaren at one point, dude.
and they
That's
had
crazy.
Forgiven. They had
Oh
Kabushard, I
shit.
believe, too.
Did they come
So
a shard? Oh yeah.
yeah,
Damn, man, dude. God, man. Back in the day with SK Gaming with fucking was it Jesus? Was their mid laner at one point? That's
yeah,
going too far back. Looking at this best of 5, it so Tiru brought up last night. He thinks Tinks massively underperformed. Now, I guess in terms of the stage play, yeah, because like obviously the jungler and the support do dictate about how much you're gonna play in terms of like mid game priority and what you're gonna set up, right?
bro. Listen here, okay. Let's put it how that this was we're going now. Let's use some superheroes. It was literally Batman versus Superman in the jungle. No, no, let's even be let's go in back. It was like Green Arrow versus Batman. A guy with a bow and arrow versus Superman. You really think that's gonna turn out well? Come on, man.
No, oh my god, it's like Thanos versus Black Widow.
Yeah, like it's Hawkeye versus Black Widow. Like, come on, people. Like, so we know what self-made. Like, the thing about self-made, you know what I respect about self-made is
Mhm.
even when he knows that he's played bad, he still is a chat about it. He's like, I played my game. I don't care. And I think there's a little. I'm sure they don't want to admit it, but I think there's a little turmoil. I'm calling this right now. I wouldn't be surprised if self-made's not on the team after summer
Hey, bro,
split.
it's going to G2. G2 self-made. Hey, man, I'll take your jungler for you. We'll treat him nice at G2 over here. Get him some nice food.
Let's be honest. If Fnatic got perks, I think they would have been a better team. But what's his face?
Tomato, I guess.
Whatever. But underperforming. I want to say that Blue was the most underperforming.
Yeah,
because
because like you can't
mid
really
lane
put
is
it on
too.
Jezu though. Like you
Mid lane
can't
is too,
because
yeah.
when you factor in what they did to Jezu, they tried to literally direct this guy. Like you can't do anything. Tinks and Blue aren't held down by a support player. And to be fair, Jezu played decently well at some points during the game. So did Treats. Treats played great. I think Treats played fine. And then you also got to factor in Tinks. Like it's understandable that he got beat by Selfmade. That's what we're talking about going into this best of 5. Is that if you look at it, player for player, not counting this best of 5 going into it, Fnatic just have the objectively better players. They just do, and that should have been the case. The reason why they won. Now, to be fair, a lot of people talk about the game too. Genix has the really good performance on Gnar. Fnatic are super over aggressive and got their over aggressive tendencies punished by SK. Later on, Genix gets a really nice carry performance on Gnar, which is the champion he should be doing well on. That's one of the champions he played well outside of Aatrox. This game 3 is a stop. I don't know what the fuck happened here. Just, I don't know, brain diff. The fuck. God damn. Game 4 is when things started changing. So SK actually have the Urgot pick, and they were actually doing team fights very well. Genix played outstanding in this game.
Hard carrying. His back must have been broken. Like Batman from the Dark Knight.
Yeah. Help me. Right here at this moment is right here where I can tell you where they messed up. Okay, so they're doing this. All right, so they take this tower right here. I'm pretty sure this is the moment right here. It's where they about to go into the base. Right here when they go into the base, you need to stop right here. Why do they need to stop? First of all,
I can elaborate with you. This is where you needed veteran leadership. You get the inhib. You know what you do now. You're like, okay, we're too low. We don't need. As you can look on the camera, if you go back to where they break the inhib, they don't have a minion wave.
That's right. That's where the veteran leadership comes from. Like literally right here after they pick off Bwipo and Volibear, they should have easily been able to get the tower, take the inhibitor. Now, why is this important that they don't end the game right here? Because in solo queue, you're gonna go, oh my god, boys, end the game right here. No, you take Elder Drag, you take a dragon that's up. Why? Because Karma and Volibear are going to be up, and they're not going to be able to get past them. They have no minion wave there. Look at that. Tinks takes like 4 tower shots. Treats just goes in. I don't know what his brain was. My mind's telling me no.
My body's telling me yes.
bro, like he just jumped in. I was like, this game's over. They
like
actually just threw. That is
I
like
just,
actually a
I
throw
just,
right there.
I just realized something. Does that mean you like underage?
Man, what the fuck? All right. Cut the mic, Warren. I'm cutting Warren's mic now. Jezu, he can't do shit. He's literally so far behind. Like he's just basically just a walking Zyaru. That's all he is. And after that, they lose the series. Note to self, and certain games like that, I've seen this before. Happened with Rogue a couple years ago where they had the 9/11 Corky thing fucking Larson did. Just you have to be calm and cool and collected. Happened to Misfits against SKT. They had that tower dive and then lose the best of 5. You gotta be calm. You can't just be all radical and going, yeah, we can win the game here. You can't. You don't have the proper setup though.
And they showed that they could have won without the 4 Drakes. They get Elder. That's execute mode. You win.
I don't know why he TP's right there. I don't know. He played shitty the whole. This man's over here feeding the homeless people in Africa about how bad he's playing.
Whoa. I'm sure those Africans would have played better than Blue right now.
Okay. So now he's just demoted to Africa now. That's where Blue's going. Oh my god. But yes, Fnatic win the best of 5. SK Gaming is out. Feels bad for Treats. I had Treats as my MVP, but he didn't play bad this game. He made the one big crucial mistake in game 4. That was a bad. You do not leap into that, especially without minion wave, especially without half your teammates leaving you. Half his teammates were already leaving him. They're like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Series is over. Now you're moving on to G2, taking out Schalke No Fear. Looking at it right here, game 1 was just a stop. I mean, this is just like what to expect, though. They just actually beat the shit out of them. Bro, that shit was just like, holy fuck.
It's fun. If you pause it right there before, so if you go back a little bit, right? Like right here, they should have just reset it. Like, I believe Schalke's was playing the early game great here, but then they overextended and like me. You see me when I see players do some asinine shit that limit. I'm like, deuces, dude, you're dead. I'm not coming to save you. I would like right now. I'm leaving them. Like you see, Abadage. No, bro, I'm leaving. Nope.
Oh, bro, I'm out. Peace. But then, yeah, like when you're making moves like that, then now everyone dies, and then now this game's over. Not against a Corky, Kaisu can poke you, Hecarim can run you down. This game's over. Now, the biggest takeaway from this best of 5, there's several different things. I think Limit played great. I think Neon, if he had played as well as Limit did outside of laning phase, because people want to say they played good in overall in the series. Not necessarily. They were losing like every single 2v2. Let's be honest here. They lost every single 2v2 except for the Vayne game. They were losing bad in those 2v2s. Outside of game 4, in when you're moving around the map outside of laning phase, I thought Limit played well. I think Broken Blade, Gilius, Abadage all showed up for the best of 5. You can tell they're playing their hearts out. Now, in G2's counterpoint, I don't know what was going on this week, though. This should have been an easy, like, walk in the park, 3-1.
It's what we were talking about yesterday, where you said, "Oh, they're going to get tired." Stop it. These people are 22. They're not 50. They don't need an oxygen tank, or a walker. Like
that man's old, bro. That man's old.
Like this, like don't tell me that they need time. This is not a okay, it is a sport, and I get it that they're like, because you can get wrist injuries, right? I've had a wrist injury with my ligaments, and you can wear them out, but like don't make it sound like you're overtired. Like, stop it, okay? You are considered the kings of Europe. You've gotten a ADC that's been most reliable throughout most of his years. Let's be frank. If I were to go into any, like, I guess, residential area and had like a betting area, and you said who's gonna win in a best of 5 series, you said G2 Schalke. Everybody in that bar would be like G2 3-0. You're not saying G2 3 best of 5, like 5 games, like I think if you're, again, I'm bring it up. I think if you're G2 Pan, you should be worried. Schalke put you to a best of 5 series, and they're not as like the bot lane gap was different. I think Kaiser and
imagine if Schalke had Karzi and Kaiser.
Yeah, Karzi and Kaiser are gonna push Hellsang and upset to the limit. Arma is showing that why he replaced Orome, and Humanoid is considered the second best mid laner. So G2 better really, really, they need to, go into their bag of magic tricks and put Mickey X on Pike or something, and
Mhm.
Wonder on Rise, because they're gonna need some Houdini magic. Because you should not be losing to, you shouldn't. Broken Blade is considered probably not the best top laner, right?
I
I
don't
mean,
know, man. I mean, we here have him in high
we
regards,
we
but in terms of the public, I don't know personally. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Like Broken Blade has shown that me personally. I don't wish they didn't get rid of Broken Blade in TSM. He has a good attitude. He
Mhm,
has that team leader sort of, and he calls out on bullshit when I watch TSM Legends.
mhm.
So to me, I think Broken Blade is showing. Well, you know what? Don't you think you can only carry from mid lane, and top lane can carry? I'm scared, and if you let me, I'll snowball the game. And when's the last time we saw Darius in pro play?
Yeah.
20,
Then, bro,
2016. Soaz played it. Like 2016 with that origin. Think about that.
in EU, man, it's been a while since I've seen Darius in EU. There was a point. Remember when Darius was going mid a couple years ago?
Yeah, against Riven, I think.
Something like that. But like, to be fair, Darius makes sense to pick in terms of picking him against Nara. Gets is debatable. That's a skill matchup. But in terms of picking Darius against Sion, champions like Ornn, Gangplank, it makes sense. So he's just a
But
smashing
but
early game champion.
but the
He
thing
just
is,
doesn't work well in pro play because they said you flash apprehend. That's kind of all you have. Wait, you
right?
flash apprehend the mid laner? How's that in the world's a bad thing? Like, you tell me how that's a bad thing. You grab a mid laner, you kill him.
Because the thing is that you need Ghost to make him valuable, which is, I think, again, this is where I make up design flaws. You shouldn't need a summoner to make a champion valuable, but I
True.
digress. I don't know, my Riot Games, and Marketer is still there, so that's enough. So but like, think about it, like, why didn't Wonder play? If Wonder's so
Their
like, come
drafting
on,
phase was so linear for this series too for G2. Their drafting
like
phase was so linear.
honestly, pick Garen. Garen could beat Darius. Why not pick
Yeah.
Garen? I'm not even trying to be
Fiora.
funny.
Play
Fiora,
Fiora.
Fiora.
Garen.
Volley Bear beats Volley Bear.
Alawi. Alawi
Lowry.
works fine.
So if Wonder's such this, like, like, because Yamato, he sucks that European, schlong, like it's the newest sausage out of Germany. So like, he's like, Wonder so good. Like, just like, why wasn't Wonder on, like, the picks we talk about? Quinn. Okay. Like,
Yeah.
do you not have faith in Wonder then? That begs the question.
So like this game right here, you saw Broken Blade take out Darius. They later on they banned it. Reckless got so far ahead this game, and later on this game's also they won this too. G2, they're up 2-0 in the best of five. Reckless played pretty well on the Ash. I'll say this about G2 for the best of five. I think Reckless was their consistently best player throughout the series. Caps did not play good in game. The game was on Twisted Fate. They was terrible. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
But
that was bad.
heaven forbid the casters and the analysts point that out. They would always point out his highlights, but never his flaws. Nope, no. He's
Oh,
just
you
too
know
good.
me. I like to be realistic. I'm realistic here, man. Hey, he played bad on his Twisted Fate game. I don't, and like, even just the drafting. Why are you giving Reckless Sivir? I know we can play Sivir. It's like one of his best champions, one of the highest win rate champions he has. Why? There's just that Sivir hasn't been good in so long. I genuinely thought they were disrespecting them in this draft. Why the fuck do you have Sivir?
Well, give credit to Broken Blade, to, like, he could have easily put we have been, so that's let me say
Mhm.
that. I give him credit for sticking with Darius even after he lost the first game. He said
Oh
to himself,
yeah, mad props with that. Yeah,
yeah, like,
he could have been easy. Like, nah, it doesn't work. We lost.
we lost. Let's go to Nar. Let's go to Gragas. Let's go to, something that
Mhm.
is in the meta, right? He still stick with it, and I think Fnatic is a bit worried now because, like,
If you're a Fnatic fan, you're definitely worried about after what Schalke showed. Like, that's whoo. This team almost took G2 to 5 games, and Fnatic got pretty destroyed last time they played. And this was by Schalke, a team who was on like a 9-game losing streak. You
I mean,
know,
they did win the last 3 games to get
true.
playoffs when it mattered, so that shows me that. And give credit to Dylan Falco, their coach, too. Um, I this play, I thought he
Look how
was dead here.
troll, dude. Look how troll that is. Gilius just ulted for no reason whatsoever. Look how troll that is. Ulted
I
for he was already out of the. He was already gone. Ulted for no reason.
I really thought Broken Blade was dead here, dude. I honestly thought
Yeah.
that. I'm like, whoa, this guy's a champion. This guy is. That apprehend was so good.
Oh
And
my
then
god.
now I've been watching in solo queue how many people play Darius, because sometimes I wish pro play people didn't watch pro play. It's like, bro, like stop it. But
Later on, Broken Blade gets the pentakill, and this is when the Schalke hype train starts coming back. Broken Blade TPs into the base. You see how happy that guy. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm off TSM. I can finally care. I'm not in beer. I'm
whoa,
Beeruson's
whoa,
shadow."
whoa,
This game, Schalke. This was the only game Schalke had a bot lane lead. They were playing horrible in the 2v2. There really was a bot gap in the laning phase. Like they were losing every laning phase except for this
whoa.
one.
Fun fact: I think this was Neon's like first win on Vayne. He was like 0-1 so far. So that's again confidence in your AD carry to pull out a pick that. And players need to do this. Like you cannot be pigeonholed. Sometimes you just need to step up and play
Mhm,
these picks that in the crucial moments to show why you're a pro and why you're not still in the EU like Premier League or
mhm,
something. Not to say that they're not good leagues, but there's a reason why you go from EU Masters to the LEC. So
mhm.
I think Schalke showed promise. Now, should they have won the series? I think they should, personally. Um, I don't like G2 to begin with, so fuck them. Oh.
This game, they were definitely in it early on. G2 made a slight comeback early on. Later on, Abadage steals the Baron with his Oriana ultimate. I haven't seen
I
that in a long time. I
bro,
was like, holy
Ryan,
fuck.
Ryan. I know why people ban that. Okay, Ryan. I used to be one of those guys that would ban Darius, and then I learned about the Church of Volibear. Volibear dumpsters that champion. You think it's basically? You ever watched Everybody Hates Chris and he gets bullied by that white kid? You're the white kid and Chris is Darius. You just get bullied so hard. Like he just comps you, he runs at you, and you see this big bear try does his dunk is way better than Darius's dunk because he just turns big and huge, and you'd run away from a bear. I know I'd rather run away from a bear than a guy with an axe. At least you could just throw like some water or how like something like you know what I mean. But I get what you're saying. Like, it's nice to see these picks come out, like, because you always get this impression that, um, which is why I feel that sometimes teams need to go to picks where players have that comfort. Like, for instance, Impact has his Singe that we know about, and I
Yeah.
think Bupo has his Swain, and
Pearson's Godzillion.
feeling like sometimes it's good to come out because like teams don't know how to build, like play play against them, and you just throw the draft in a big hoopty la. I couldn't think of a word.
He's so
So
look how well he's playing, zoning off the top laner, killing him, then flashing to get out. Dude, like look at that shit. That's a
and
quality top laner right there. Good
and
job, TSM.
he's doing it against he's going against G2. This isn't like he's doing it against XL, like.
Yeah. All right, guys. After this game, now this is the game where people were like questioning the. Okay, so here's how I think about this draft. So I get why they draft this way in Game 5. Late game insurance policies. Abadag has been popping off. Broken Blade on Aatrox, early game champion that's not going to auto lose to Scion. Neon's on Jinx. He ended up going to get triple kill early on. Later on, that brought him back into the game. This was a close game overall. If you're going for that, why did they let G2 have Seraphine then? That makes no sense then. Imagine in this game, G2, I think, would lose if they had any ADC champion, just not Seraphine. Later on during the game, Seraphine, which is constantly shielding and healing. That's it. That's all that they were doing. They were just literally grouping up and getting shielded and healed by the Seraphine. That was it. So if you're in this late game composition, why did you give them Seraphine? If they just didn't have Seraphine, the game, honestly, is probably Schalke favored.
Me personally, and this is just my
Mm-hmm.
my I think they needed like an engaged sort of jungler.
Oh
Udyr,
yeah, yeah, you're right. There you go. I
like,
agree.
yeah, you got Rel going in, but the thing is, look who's Scion can engage. Seraphine with Flash Ult can sort of engage. Volibear can shut down the towers and engage. You have four options. Gragas can cask, ER, right? So you
Oh
have
yeah, there was a play where Limit tried going in, but he was so far away from his team, and that screwed him up too.
right.
Like you
So
can't be doing that. Like you really cannot be doing that in situations like that. Look how far he goes in. I think it's right here. He goes in so far the team just can't get next to him to follow up and gate. Look at that. Look at where they are. What is
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. Schalke played well, Benjamin. I really give them credit. I feel like Okay, so granted, SK and Schalke lost, but I could say that EU leveled up. The one that disappointed me most is Rogan. We'll definitely get into that. But when I look at the draft, I see I see four engage options on G2 and disengage with Gragas because Gragas can cast them away. But then who's your engage really on? You have to get a flank with Aatrox, right? A good one, and then you have to get Aurel engaged. You have two options where the enemy team has four, and they can hit you from any side, right? Because Scion can come from Africa or Narnia, right? Volibear can just jump out of the bush, and you're wondering why you're losing an arm and a leg because he took a bite out of you. And Gragas can be a drunk and throw a cask at you. So now, and then Seraphine can, pretend that she's a Bella Danger and start pretending that she can sing and and
Hey dude,
hypnotize you.
Wiley Reed can rap. What you talking about, bro?
so So they just had so many options. The Udyr, everything is nice about this draft. Late game, late game. Just they needed something right here. Maybe something to start there. Like maybe just they needed something. Like I just again, I've been saying this a lot. Get rid of the Udyr. Udyr is useless unless you're super far ahead. He really is. That's how I feel. I really feel like I think even Lilio might have been a little bit better. So that's how I feel. I think, but credit to Schalke going to Game 5. Hopefully,
Yeah.
we'll definitely go
Uh,
into the next
yeah, we'll
topic.
definitely preview Fnatic versus Schalke later on. Hey man, if someone picks Schalke, I'm not gonna be like, whoa, why are you picking that team? Warren's gonna pick Schalke. I know he will. He's always going for the other opposition.
Well, listen, bro. I told you what. Well, we're going into the next game so I don't want to hear anything.
Uh,
I definitely called this one. I listen. I'd have been 2-1 if it wasn't for Schalke losing. So
oh my god. That's Kato. He got a chance to see Godzilla versus Kong the day before me. I'm jealous.
how?
I don't. He won a screening from one of our friends who goes to like early screenings and gets like celebrity interviews and shit like that. He hasn't been on the show for a while. I gotta talk to him. Hope he's not mad at me because I don't know who'll be mad at me though. I'm a great guy, right? All right. The last best of five was Rogue versus Mad Lions. Going into the best of five, to be fair, I did pick Rogue. I thought they were gonna win 3-1. Mad
Dumbass.
had a fuck you. Mad had a rough early start to the split, but later on during the LEC 2021 spring split, they got a whole lot better. And then you also have to kind of factor in that during this best of five, Arma proved why, they definitely needed to have him over a Rome. Aloye played great. There's not really much to this series, though. All that's much to this series is this game 4.
I mean, this is one of those again. This is I'm gonna keep chirping like a hood rat. Like, listen, these best of one series need to either incorporate them, like do them for half of the split, and then do best of threes. Split this up somehow because this is not going to work. You're like this is where I feel like this is where look if we looked at the regular season record, right? And I'm just gonna pull it up, just to give you some precedence on. So we're looking at the spring season, right, for LEC. Um, Rogue ended up the season 14-4. Mad Lions ended up 10-8. So statistically, you would say which team should win? Rogue. But like when you look at Mad Lions' losses and how they lost and how close they did, how close they lost. I think losing close and getting terrible losses gets you better. And whereas, there were some games where Rogue should not have won. Like we can agree on that, right? So again, I feel like one people are saying that we're praising Oda because he replaced Finn. Finn wasn't the problem. They got to Worlds with Finn. They got what was it? They got first place in the regular season with Finn. So that narrative, I don't believe that one now. You replace Vander with Trinby. Okay, look what happened. He's supposed to be this prodigy, and he couldn't handle handle Kaiser. Like I think Rogue beat Mad in the regular season or went 1-1. So this should have been either a close series or a stop. Neither one transpired. So to me, this is one of a more I felt this was an overhype. I felt this was recency bias, and I felt that this is a perfect example why you should not put all your baskets in the regular season. I just felt that Mad Lions was
It seems like Rogue is a better scrim team than a stage team in some situations.
by far, by far,
Yeah.
by far, because Vedius was literally on the table making Otoane's eyes go back. How much he praised this guy. So I don't.
Hey, bro, people like to rag on Onowamne. Hans Sama, like, he's supposed to be better than Reckless, this insane ADC. I mean, I'm just saying, like, if Rogue had Karzi and Kaiser, they're a much better team. That's a team you're legitimately scared of with that kind of bot lane, right?
First of all,
Onowamne, he played pretty poorly this series. I don't know what was going on there.
first of all, why are you picking Aphelios?
It's a game. It's a must-have win-win game for
Bro,
them.
bro, bro. Jinx is better right now than Aphelios.
That's
What are
true.
you what are you, what are you doing?
Carsey played Jinx, and I don't want to use the argument, oh, like, yeah, Han Sama can't play Jinx. That's a bunch of horse shit.
Oh, K4. I don't think Rogue is a bunch of golden glues. I mean that's capping, bro. But I don't. I don't think. I don't think. I mean, I think it was just one of those things where Mad, like, okay, for instance, think about this, right? Mad ended a. I think Mad did a. They did a meme game, and before they played a meme game, they demolished G2. I don't know if you guys saw that, but Humanoid, I think Humanoid had Lucian and Caps had Syndra. He just demolished him. You thought Caps was like some guy out of the TCL like he first came out of because he was just getting demolished in that game. I think I think Mad will have more. I think we're seeing the benefits of Mad experimented and Mad played are not afraid to do things. I think Armored has played like a buttload of champions and he's not afraid. He's lost and then he's won games. I mean, they've even beat G2. So, man, I know you're gonna do the predictions soon, but I feel bad for G2, and I really G2 and Fnatic fans. I think something's gonna happen this week where one of these kings, you're not gonna see them progressing, and you're gonna see a new king progressing again. So that's how I feel.
Yep, that's pretty much it for this episode. I do have to kind of get to something, but no, we had a great episode overall. Overall for the best of fives in the LEC so far, having these teams like Mad Lions, Schalke, kind of really step up is a good thing because most people only assume that the
SK to an
LEC
extent.
SK played well too, and it's nice to see that because the LEC is known as just G2 and Fnatic's kingdom, pun intended. Like literally, it's just that they rule the LEC. It was nice to also have Rogue be put in contention as well. Now, can Rogue actually bounce back? Sure. But the issue here is they need to fix why they can't ever win a best of five. I don't think they've ever won a best of five in the LEC. Maybe they have, probably like one, but they probably have lost more best of fives than they've won the LEC.
Oh, I think they beat Mad to
Oh yeah.
for Worlds. They in order to go to that semifinal against G2 last year. So they've done it. It's just this team was touted, and again, it's one of those things where we expected a 3-0 or 3-1 from them, and it was the reverse. So this weekend between both regions have showed don't bank on the best team because they might not play too good.
And with that, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I'm the Nightwing and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
Yep. Take care, guys.
Take care, guys.